Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Tyrone Asbury. Yo. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey. Only the greats can.
What's up, everybody? Live on this Friday night. I'm going to start off by saying, of course, remember, I got to start by saying, hey, yo, this is a Friday night you definitely will remember, because tonight we pay tribute to the one and the only late, great Scott Hall. And to help me with this show tonight, she is back to sass me. My girl, my friend, Jackie Destiny Peterson is back in the house.
Ty.
I want to welcome her back. She's, like I said, we haven't done the show in a long time. Jackie, thank you for joining me tonight to help pay tribute to your friend, Scott Hall.
Yes, thank you very, very much. Unfortunately, I wish sorry about that. See, I said this was awful. Look at this. I don't have the professional setup, so it's awful for me. Look at you, all sharp and slick.
Oh, it's the most important thing about, like, when he was your friend. When you lose like a friend, you take that and you make memories and you laugh. Like me and you laugh, and
Yep.
I'm sure since he passed away, you've been looking at memories you had with him and wrestling. I know he's made you laugh, and like just off
absolutely.
I know it's definitely been hard for you, but have you taken a step back and looked at, man, like, he was just a funny ass guy. I'm sure you and him have so many memories.
See, like how I look at things, it's I was devastated. Last week we were playing phone tag, and I missed his call, he missed mine, and then it came Friday night, and I went, oh, I'll just call him over the weekend. He needs to rest because of the surgery and everything, and that was it. I never got to get a hold of him. And Scott was, like you said, always the type, always for a good laugh. And I'm one to believe that. I mean, I actually posted this to Kevin Nash. He's not here in the physical form, but the soul doesn't die. Yeah. He's here. He's seeing this outpouring of love, and he's not worried about a thing. He's up with his friends that he missed. He's looking down, doesn't want to see everybody sad. He's good. It's everybody else that misses him so bad until the time that we could see him again.
Yeah. He's probably up there throwing toothpicks and, up there with Mach and Kurt and everybody.
Oh, absolutely. And Owen.
Owen did.
I mean, that's what I said. I was like, I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook.
Yeah. I saw the touching stuff you put on your. I mean, actually, you and him with the pictures, and I know Scott. I read a lot of things he said. He loved, like, Owen Hart, Macho, Kurt.
Yes.
He spoke highly of all those guys, and it's like he's up there with his boys, and we had to look at that, and we're going to miss him, because it's like, for you, I'm sure it's not like you're not be able to see your neighbor physically anymore, but they're still here.
Yes. Like, he always, like, the reason I put up that post is he always wanted to do a road trip book, like all happy-go-lucky. And he wanted, like, everybody that ever had an experience with him on the road to tell a story. And I thought, instead of it being so somber, like, let's like let everybody remember the good times they had with Scott Hall.
Absolutely. And people don't know, if we can go back to memory lane. Like, when was the first time that you met Scott? I mean, 'cause I saw you and him a picture of, like, when he was raising Ramon. I mean, I was like, man, they go way back and everything. And that's like, people just don't know, like, how far, like when you met him, and it just, how did that all come together?
How did it all come together? I have a best friend. She lives in Pittsburgh, and her name is Jackie as well. So you have Jackie and Jackie. And before the internet came along and camera phones where everything was ruined, you used to be able to, after a WWF event, you would be able to go to the hotel, go to the bar. You would hang out with everybody, dance, drink, take photos. You would have so much fun. And, like, nobody could get anybody in trouble because nobody had one of these things that I'm on right now. So it was a I better go back to WWE night, and it's like Razor, all those guys are there. And I'm sitting with my bestie Jackie, and we're, like sitting there chilling, having a couple of drinks, and this guy comes over and he looks at me and he goes, "Would you like to dance?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, sir. No, I'm just here with my friend hanging out. Thank you though." And he goes, "Well, I guess you're not listening too well." And he grabbed a hold of me, jerked me out of my chair, knocked the chair to the ground, and was like, "I think you don't understand. You are going to dance with me." So in the process of this, Razor comes up behind him. I have never met Razor before.
Yeah.
And it's like he taps this whoever the hell he was on his shoulder and says, "Hey, I think the lady wants to be left alone." And this guy's like, just shoos him and goes, like, doesn't look at him and goes, "Mind your business." And he looks at me and he goes, "Girl, you okay?" And I just shook my head no, because at this point, like, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do here? So Razor taps him again. He whips around and he goes to punch him. So when he goes for the punch, he basically hits Razor in his lower chest and then like freezes up and looks up. Razor flipped him over the chair and had security throw him out. And then he just shook my hand and went, "Nice to meet you. Have a nice night," and walked away.
And I'm sure right then and there that night where it just like friendship, it's just like how the littlest things can turn into friendship. And that's God. I always say God works in mysterious ways, cool ways, how God can make things like that happen.
Well, then that's where one of the first stories comes in. Where I live, some people around here still don't have cable. I never saw AWA, the original NWA. I never got to see any of that. Like there was no footage. You basically had, after horse racing, you had Saturday night's main event and a little bit of wrestling here and there for WWF at the time.
Yeah.
So now I'm hanging out with Razor and he pulls out this magazine he has, and he opens it up and he's showing it to me and he points to this guy and he's like, Big Scott Hall. And I go, "Why are you showing me pictures of this Burt Reynolds looking dude?" And he goes, "Babe, that's me." And I'm like, "That's not you." And he goes, "Yes, it is. I'm Scott Hall." Pulls out his license and I was like, "Oh man," I'm like, "So you're just not really some big Latino dude, sorry." And that was like a really big laugh. I had no idea.
I get. It seems like he was like the type of guy where if you have a gathering and he walked through the door, you're like, "Oh man," like some laughs are going to go down like when he walks in. So,
oh yeah, don't mind the puppy break here.
We got the doggy on the show. Hey,
yes.
Anything happens on the ropes. I mean, dogs are invite everybody. I just want to say first and foremost, when I posted everything about the show, I put the StreamYard link. So if you want to come on the show, talk to me and Jackie about any favorite Scott Hall moment that you have, you're welcome, because the whole wrestling world is welcome to come on the show tonight and talk about our boy, Scott Hall. Again, God bless him.
Absolutely. He would love to hear the stories.
I really just like what you said, that the fact that you and him kind of had also sounded like you and him had like that brother sister. I mean, out being friends, but like brother sister, y'all just joking around and bust each other's chops. And
oh yeah, like now he loves my mother. Yeah. He absolutely loved my mom. And it's like one time I had to take him to an appearance and mom went with us. So it's my mom in the back of the car and he's up front with me. I'm driving and there was all this construction and we got lost. Well, Scott got a tad cranky and he started complaining. It's like my mom was at the point. Am I allowed to swear?
I don't care.
Okay. So my mom is now going to be 81 soon. So she was in her late 60s when all this was going down. And he's driving it like I'm driving. He's complaining about us being lost, not getting to the appearance, which is like, it's like my mom's being polite and being like, maybe if you quiet down and let her figure it out and make a few phone calls, we'll get out of this situation and we'll get to where we need to be. So he keeps it up and he starts complaining. And it's like my mom all of a sudden's like, "Scott, this is my daughter that you're giving this hard time to. So you know what you need to do right now? You just need to shut the fuck up and sit down and shut up, right?" And start screaming at him. And the next thing you know, he just puts his head down and he goes, yes, Mom. And he's silent. I'm like, here's my 5 foot tall mother, I'm like telling Razor just putting Razor right in his place. And then from there, it's like, he's always like, hey, Jackie, how's Mom?
I just like, before we go to, I'm sure you have many memories of his favorite matches, but the one thing that really stuck to me about him is that he never gave up. I mean, DDP helped him, and when DDP really went out and brought like a new side of life for him, and that's the one thing that said about me. It was always good to see him that he was doing good, and because we were all worried about him. I'd see him, I was worried about him,
but he would try to help you. He'd be like, look, I have these demons. I alcoholism, drug addiction. And he was like, this isn't something, he's like, tried to control it. He's had doctors study it. He's done all kinds, and he's like, made people know, hey, if you need help, get help. I mean, he never tried to be like in this denial thing. There was no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
Like, he always tried to help, somebody else that he saw that he thought was having a problem.
It seemed like the biggest thing that he really did was he, would tell you, for if any addiction you had, go get help. But he was always, I could tell that he was always willing to help out talent if they needed it. I seen he was at the Performance Center, and it seemed like he really would take the time to help aspiring wrestlers.
Of course. Yeah. Yes. And it's like it's like, I hear a lot of people, like they'll mock him or insult him or make fun of him. And I'm like, you couldn't even lace up his boots. Like, who the hell do you think you are? And he flat out, it's like, he knew what his demons were. He wasn't sitting there trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. He knew what was happening. And it's like, he would help. You wanted an autograph, you wanted a picture, anything. It's like so easygoing and so nice, but it's like, you got to just be jealous and pathetic. Yeah. Leave him be.
But it was. But that's the thing, and definitely the main person. All the respect in the world goes out to DDP, because I mean, everybody.
Absolutely. Yes.
He really, it's taking a lot of guys in to help out. He's doing that with Buff Bagwell and DDP. Keep doing what you're doing. And now the most important thing is, actually, the other night, me and my wife watched it. One of my favorite Razor matches, because Razor Ramon in WWE, him and Shawn Michaels, 95 SummerSlam ladder match. Now, I was watching that match.
I was there.
Oh, you was?
It was Pittsburgh. Fifth row.
I was like, man, I watched that. And now I'm going to ask you, do you think, out of the two ladder matches they had in Pittsburgh and New York, WrestleMania 10, which one do you think was the better one?
I think Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
I think the original.
Well, the original was WrestleMania 10. That was in Madison Square Garden. The one.
Wait a minute. What am I? Oh my God, WrestleMania 10. I got a story about that night with Mom too. Okay. Oh, I'm crossing my ones. Okay, the one in Pittsburgh. Whatever the one in Pittsburgh I liked. Yeah.
Yeah, the one in Pittsburgh. It was just so good, and it's just like they did so many creative things, like with that ladder. Like, it's just, I mean, I
wouldn't want to do it. I think there's such dangerous matches. Yeah, it's like.
And when we watched the match, I love his Razor Ramon theme, and we're just like rocking our heads when he comes out. I'm just like, I was trying to cry when I saw it, but he really, the main thing about it is that he's up there with one of my favorites, Kurt Hennig, because I was a big Mr. Perfect fan. So, and he loved Kurt, and that's just like a really cool thing that, to be able to go back and watch what they did, and making me happy as a wrestling fan. So,
and I knew. I mean, that was very hard on him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, but now if you look at what was actually outside the ladder matches, what was your favorite match?
Outside the ladder match, he had. Oh my gosh, he had so many. And this is. Outside the ladder match, and the ladder matches were phenomenal. Like you see, I have been to so many shows and so many tapings, and that's a really really hard question.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's I mean, it's like he was so charismatic. I mean, there was
yeah.
Razor Ramon, NWO. I mean, it's like that's a really tough. Wow. The ladder matches are probably what stands out the most because they could be so brutal. But man, now you're making me gonna have to pull up videos to figure this stuff out. Which one did I like the best?
Well, that's why we're doing the celebration. Everybody, like I said, I mean, I said it for the weekend. I say take your time to have a Scott Hall weekend and watch all of his old matches because that's I did the other night. I'll probably do it some point over the weekend. But actually, but the thing about it is his NWO stuff. I gotta say was just NWO. I mean, you can't top that though.
And I think that was one of his like main creations. I mean, he was so creative. He,
Oh yeah.
I mean, he really had a sense for the business. Definitely.
I really like the line he said when he was appearing as by himself, messing with Eric Bischoff, and he said, "I got a big surprise next week. We all knew it's time to be Kevin Nash." He's like, "You got the big man and the medium-sized man." I like the way he said that. So.
Well, that was one. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, so I used to go to the Spectrum all the time.
Oh yeah.
And we had front row, and like Razor would come out and he would do his bit, like he would do his bit with Tony, with any of the announcers, be like, "If something happens to the gold, something's gonna happen to you." Right. So Tony Chimmel's right in front of me, and Razor comes down and he goes to say it. It goes under the line, if something, and it's like Chimmel goes, I know. If something happens to the gold, something's gonna happen to me. And it's like Razor did his thing like this and just backed away and started laughing. And Chimmel looks at me and goes, "Damn, I hate when he does that."
That was the best thing. Before you go to wrestle, he take off his gold chain. He say to the ring attendant, something happens, he take a toothpick and like flick it at her face.
And Scott told me that he was at the airport one day with Rey Mysterio, and so they're just standing there, waiting to get the flights organized, and this like hot girl comes over, and she looks at Scott and she's like, "Aren't you Razor Ramon?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, babe." He's playing it up in front of Ray, of course. He's like, "Well, yeah, babe. What do you need?" And this he's like, "Yeah." This young hot girl looks at me and goes, "Oh my God, my grandmother loves you." And Ray lost it. He said it was hysterical.
Now, of course, like I said, we're talking about tribute to Scott Hall, talking about memories. Now, I found this picture. It was on your Facebook, so I'm gonna pull this up for everybody on the show to see. Sure. Now, how old school was this? I love this picture. This was like a really cool picture. I was like, I got to put this on the show.
Oh, that was oh gosh, that was at an NWS show up in Kearney. So before I got sick, so it's like maybe 2014, 2015 in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because he was like, this was after he was like, done being on TV, doing some indies, doing some. Well, he was never off of TV. I mean, you're going to keep it, but like not as much.
Now, if you look at the big picture, and if young aspiring wrestlers right now like needed advice, like Scott's not physically with us anymore, but what do you think he would tell young wrestlers coming up tomorrow about the business and just all about it, what they should expect if no one how you knew Scott?
Watch and listen. Hang with the veterans. Take their advice. Because you got a lot of young guys now that think they're like superstars, and they think they know it all. And it's you got to listen to people that paved the way.
Yeah,
I really think that's what he would go with, because I mean he would be the first one to give advice.
Yeah. And that's the thing, and I would think sometimes like I would guess like, and that's the thing, is it hard to find in wrestling where some of like the legends don't give advice. I mean, I don't know. Is that the case sometimes where it doesn't happen? So, like you said, if a
Not too
legend,
often, though.
yeah,
Not too often. I mean, most of everyone's pretty cool, and it's like they want to help. They get it because they were in this. I cannot believe this is happening with this dog. I'm sorry. um, they want to help because they've been through it.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
like Scott told me that Rick Martel and Kurt Hennig helped him out left and right.
yeah.
Because it's like he was just the big dude sitting ringside, and it's like he wasn't really trained, and they helped him step by step. He knows.
And actually, Scott has gone on record to say, as far as when he became Razor Ramon in WWE, Kurt Hennig helped him out with that. So,
Yeah.
I'll talk to Vince and got him aboard. But it's just it's just a really cool thing. And the biggest thing of all, like you said, how everybody's just the tributes pouring our hearts out to Scott, and like you said, he's probably saying, "Hey, everybody,
Yeah. But he did. He always told me he would. He always did mention to me about writing a road trip book, like, and have it be fun. So I tell people, and I was like, hey, tell me your stories. Like, is there anything that stuck out in my post that? Ooh, oh, I'm getting a dog break now. Is there anything that you saw that stuck out in the post that you'd want to highlight on? I'm trying to figure out some of the stuff I wrote and some of the memories.
Well, the one thing that stuck out about is just like you and him playing phone tag. And that seems like that's what friends do. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're probably out, they're probably doing this and that. And it's just like based on, love and how it is. You and him are just friends, missing each other with phone tag. And that I really look at you and him, see like y'all had that like that really cool brother sister bond. And that's what your postings on Facebook I took from that, and it really touched me. It definitely did.
And so, like, now there's one picture where he's wearing just a blazer, the Intercontinental Championship, and no shirt.
Yeah.
And that was at the WrestleMania in New York City. And he was actually walking around Manhattan like that. And so, like, I mean, like I said, you used to be able to have so much fun. And he loved Mom. And so my mom's sitting with us. We got like all these people from England, Germany. And my mom's sitting there and she's like, I'm not paying much attention. And she's like drinking strawberry daiquiris. So the next thing you know is Scott comes over as Razor, and he's like, "Hi, Mom. Hi." He's like, "Come on, get up, take a picture with the bad guy." My mom's like, "Not right now. Yeah, like not right now. Not right now, Razor. Maybe a little bit later." Mom, don't you want a picture with the bad guy? And she's like, "Not right now." And he's like, "Come on, Mom, just get up." And she, I guess, one daiquiri too many. She's like, "Razor, I can't get up." So she was always a lot of fun, and she'll still go to shows. She loves it. She's the one that got me into professional wrestling.
That's a really like cool thing. And of course, I know you got some shows come this weekend. So like I said, I know you got a big weekend ahead with your shows. So, but before we get to that, and like I said, before we close out this tribute to Scott Hall on Off the Top Rope tonight, if you did the number one thing that you can take from you and his friendship, what's the one thing you can take from y'all's friendship in a really positive light?
Wonderful friendship. Had our ups and downs, but had our ups and downs like any friends would, but always pulled through. Like, I'd like to think we always had each other's backs.
Yeah.
Like when I got sick, he was wonderful. He was just like, chin up, like trying to give me advice, things to like help me out, call him anytime. It's like, he's a good man.
Yeah. Now fast forward. Now I know you, of course, continuing your legacy too as well, and all your fans want to know you got some stuff coming for the weekend. So I want to know like what's up with you for the weekend and moving ahead too, because it was glad to have you back on the show.
Tomorrow is IWA Vintage Pro in Millville, New Jersey at the Phenom Factory. Then of course I get double booked, so now it's there's April 30th is Hostile Wrestling Takeover, and then April 30th is Hamburg, Pennsylvania, the Hamburg Fieldhouse, Outbreak Pro Wrestling, and their shows for autism. I'm trying to like lock all the dates. May is Pro Wrestling Empire, and Ty, if you can make it, July, the Legends of Hamburg. It's on my page. It's a super convention and show. So if you have the opportunity to make things like that, like I'm trying to get my bookings back now,
Yeah.
Like with the surgeries I just had, we're moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most importantly, that, like I said, your surgery's going well. Like I said, I'm glad you're doing great. Because, like I said, having you back on the show, I was like, there's my girl. Like I said, she'll make me laugh. And most importantly, the biggest thing of all, our boy Scott Hall made us laugh and enjoy what he did in the ring, because he did what he did. And that's entertain us. I know he's up there right now saying, hey, that's what I had to do for you guys. So, because he was the bad guy. He was Oozin, machismo.
Machismo.
That's right. Now, of course, Destiny, I got to ask you, WrestleMania is coming up. You want to come back on the show for WrestleMania picks?
Oh, sure. Of course we can do that again. That was fun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my live guest tonight, like I said, she's a legendary wrestling manager, announcer. Like I said, she'll sash you, she'll beat you down. She does it all. My girl, Jackie Destiny Peterson, joined me tonight because we paid tribute to the man himself, Oozin, machismo.
Remember, what's the quote? You could probably say it with me. Bad times don't last, dreams come true.
Oh, yeah.
Help me out, Ty. Bad times don't last, dreams come true.
And you said bad guys. I remember that.
Oh, bad guys don't last, dreams come true. Like, bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Dude, I really like when he said that. And that was a cool quote, and I'm gonna hold on to that. But most important, everybody.
I think I might have said it wrong. Oh God, somebody will correct me.
Somebody will correct you.
Like, how could I not remember that?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this special Friday night. I call this tonight Friday for Scott Hall tribute show. And Scott, we love you, man. God bless. Thank you for all the memories.
We all love them. Yes.
We love you, man. And thank you for everything, for what you did in the ring for us, and giving Jackie a hell of a friendship. I'm your boy, Ty Asbury. Have a great night. Jackie Destiny Peterson with my live guest tonight. And as always, thank you for watching The Ropes. God bless. Have a great night.
Yeah, thanks, Ty.
Yeah.